This month, it's the three-piece Reblooming Hydrangea collection. $42.84 with your shipping and handling included. I want you to get a close-up of this shot because you have never seen hydrangeas like these before.
You absolutely have not. This is our most unique collection of hydrangeas that we've ever offered. All three varieties are ever bloomers. That means they keep right on blooming on the new and the old wood, and they are compact at only 3.5 to 4 feet tall.
Oh, wow.
Look at the colors. I know you've seen regular hydrangeas, and they're beautiful. I have them. I wouldn't be without them. But if you are a connoisseur,
yes,
this is a way to go. This is a way to add that edge to your garden.
Well, I mean, if you picked up the Humdinger Agastache
That's
collection,
right.
You obviously are a connoisseur of finer things in life.
Indeed.
But take us through the varieties that we're getting, because we've actually got a brand new one that we've never seen before.
And this is brand new this year. Candy Kisses. Who knew? This is the only yellow hydrangea. They start off this way. Look at that. Yellow blooms with pink edges, and then they mature to this hot pink. Big flowers on a rounded shrub. Incredible. Unique.
So pretty.
The only place you can get it. Love this. Look at this one right here. Pistachio. And by the way, you can dry all of these. I dry these, I bring them in, I put them in my house for the winter. Pistachio has got blue eyes. Oh my gosh, who knew a hydrangea could have blue eyes? But it's got this beautiful color, and this, by the way, of all the hydrangeas that I have in my collection, and I probably have 15 different ones, this is the best bloomer of any variety I've ever had. Crazy about that one.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we had this one on last year. It was enormously popular because people are always saying, how do I get mine to be pink? How do I get them to be blue? Well, listen, if you're on the fence, this is the one for you because it's blue and pink all at the same time.
Oh my gosh, and you're getting all three pieces in this hydrangea collection for $42.84. Brand new this month. This is your opportunity to reserve yours now, as it's a hot pick today, January 31st. We're planning out the garden, and I mean, this again, going back to these colors, in the sea of only the blues of hydrangeas in your neighborhood, why not bring these home for that? Wow.
And you don't get rid of your other ones. You augment them. And because your other ones were probably going to be this tall, these are this tall. You can plant these in front of your other ones, and it dresses them up. Then you've got a wall of hydrangeas. I've got mine in high canopy shade. So if you live in Pennsylvania, if you live in Connecticut, if you live in Maine, you can grow these out in full hot baking sun. I even had them in full sun in Virginia. As you get down into Tennessee and down into Georgia and northern Florida, you would want to have these in just morning sun or filtered light.
Now, do they take a lot of water, the
Yes,
hydrangeas?
they do. The hydrangeas take a lot of water.
hydrangeas.
And what I do to cut down on the work there is I mulch mine. I use shredded mulch, by the way. To me, that's the best thing because it doesn't wash out. It forms a matrix when it gets wet and it stays in place.
I'm so glad we talked about that the other day, because how many times when you go to the big box store and there's all those different kinds of mulch, you're like, do I go by color? What do I do?
You get the shredded. Always get the shredded. That's what I would do. It also cuts down on weeds. But look at that one. That is the only yellow hydrangea. How unique is that with a beautiful pink edge to it? These are tough. They bloom all summer long. Continuous bloom. They come back every single year. Very tough. And imagine drying that. So you dry the blue ones, you dry the pink ones, you've got that one to dry and really add to your arrangements in the wintertime. And then Candy Kisses, my gracious, it's so beautiful. Once it goes from that, it goes to the deeper pink. So it's a transitional thing. You know, some things transition into something that's kind of boring. You know, this just gets better and better. Then it goes to this dark, dark pink. See, with the foundation plantings, they even painted the trim on the windows to go with their plant. That's how big of a deal it was to these people. But blooms all the way to the ground, beautiful foliage, big flower heads.
When you go to cut hydrangeas to make in a floral arrangement, do you put a little bit of the acid-loving fertilizer into the vase that you do?
No,
how do you keep the hydrangea in bloom for the longest time when you cut it?
Well, what I do is I put them in there and I put them in some warm water, and that conditions them. And then the next day I cut the stems off again. What happens? You have to keep cutting the stems off to keep them going.
Oh,
that's the way you do it. But the thing is,
Thank
they'll
you.
dry nicely. And look at pistachio. How
that
rich.
pistachio
It's absolutely rich, and I've got them in my house right now. I dried them to go with my other things. Hey, if you don't have flowers all the time, you don't need to buy flowers all winter long. Dry some of your hydrangeas, and then you have those.
And you know what? I had this three-piece collection similar from Cottage Farms, but I did have the pistachio, and I will never forget last winter in the seriously snow-infested winter that it was, having the blooms
snow-infested. I like the way you said
still
that.
on the hydrangea,
it's
the
like
pistachio.
an invasion of rats when the wintertime comes.
Pretty much the worst, but I love that the blooms kind of still stayed intact, and it was like that frosted moment that spring was eventually going to come. But this is when you pick up the unique. This is that collection you're not going to find anywhere else. You're not going to be able to get it at your local nursery. And I mean, how many times do you think about bringing hydrangeas home? But you could get one hydrangea for the $42.84.
Yes.
You're getting all three varieties, one specifically being brand new, never even seen before.
Exactly, and this is a perfect representation of what you're going to have in your garden for now and years to come, blooming all the time. Now, I'm going to get over to this one.
You go right
because
ahead.
I have to tell you, people drive me crazy. How do I get it pink? How do I get it blue? Okay, this is what you do. You stop asking me that question and you get this collection, and then you have the LA Dreamin', and you've got it all. You have everything. What more could you want? The pink and the blue, all on the same plant, all at the same time, and all season long. You've got blooms, you've got buds coming. It doesn't matter if you have one of those vulgar cold winters that kills all the buds, because this blooms on new wood and old wood. You will always have blooms on these hydrangeas. Ever blooming, all three varieties.
4,500 have been spoken for so far this month. It's a hot pick today. Now's the time to get your quantities home, to reserve yours, especially with this collection, because again, it's different, it's unique. And when it comes to your door, I mean, take a look at this. I mean, this thing's just literally sprouting out
yes,
when the pot
and I have to tell you, you know what I call these? My sub-zero hydrangeas. That's how hardy they are. These are perennial shrubs. They come back every year, but unlike perennials, they don't die to the ground. It stays up, it's a shrub. You've got the stems that stay up. These were bred in very cold areas. If you live in an area and you think I can't have hydrangeas, wrong, you just got the wrong kind. These bloom on new and old wood. These will bloom in Chicago. These will bloom in Maine. These will bloom in Mississippi. It's got a wide range. It's about getting the right plant. And if you think, well, I just don't know about that, they're guaranteed for a full year. Stop worrying. You've got your guarantee. You don't have to save a receipt. You're going to have good luck with these babies.
This may be something of growing up in the South, but I feel like there were a lot of wives' tales on how to get your hydrangeas to change color.
Yes.
I remember my great-grandfather, my papu, would stick a rusty nail, I mean, all over the place. You could never be sure to walk outside.
Yes, exactly.
If you weren't,
better wear my combat boots.
or up to date on your tetanus, because he's like, nope, it turns them really purple. And I'm like sitting here thinking, look at all these colors. You don't have to participate in any of the wives' tale. You don't have to try anything different.
Yeah.
Some of these are never seen before colors, with the LA Dreaming, the Candy Kisses, the pistachios.
Right.
I mean, with close to 600 already out the door, $42.84. This is just kind of how you wash your hands of the hydrangeas, and yet it looks like you tend to them hourly every day.
It's just beautiful. I've got big evergreens alongside my driveway, and I planted these between the evergreens and the driveway. So when I come in the driveway, I see my beautiful hydrangea shrubs, and they make me so happy. I've got my collection there, and I've got all the different varieties.
Yeah.
And so I see the colors, and then in late August, I go out and I cut a bunch of them to dry. And then I have them in my house, in my vases, and they're in the window right now.
When you cut them, do you hang them upside down?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
In a dark space?
No, I don't even put them in a dark space. They're just in the house. I just hang them wherever I can hang them.
Is that another wives' tale? That it
Well,
has to be
I
the
don't
dark?
know. The wives seem to make up a whole lot of stuff.
Well, I'm the wife, so well. Got to get together with my fellow wifeys. All right, girls, stay on the lines for that one. It's brand new this month. We've had how many spoken for during the show? 600 spoken for in this show. We're very busy on our phone lines, so if you could use automated ordering at 1-800-345-1